once upon a mealtime, and this is not my kitchen. This is my table. Remember to like, subscribe, and mash down on that notification bell so you will be apprised of new content as soon as it becomes available. I'd like to spend a few minutes today talking with you about food allergies versus food intolerance. The average person who does not have a problem eating whatever is put in front of them usually does not know the difference between a food allergy and a food intolerance. But who can blame them? They've never had much need to think about it. But it can still be very important to understand that difference. According to the American Academy of Allergy, Asthma, and Immunology, an allergic reaction occurs when the immune system overreacts to an otherwise harmless substance known as an allergen. The presence of an allergen triggers the immune system to release a class of antibodies known as immunoglobulin E, or IgE for short. These antibodies travel to the cells that were in contact with the allergen and cause the allergic response. The allergic response can include allergic rhinitis, that's sneezing and an itchy, runny nose, conjunctivitis, itchy, red, watering eyes, wheezing, chest tightness, shortness of breath, and cough, hives, itchy, red, raised rash, swollen lips, tongue, eyes, and face, stomach pain, nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea, dry, red, and cracked skin. Or the more serious symptoms can be anaphylaxis, which includes swelling of the throat and mouth, difficulty breathing, lightheadedness, confusion, blue skin and lips, and collapsing with loss of consciousness. Food intolerance, on the other hand, is not an allergic reaction and does not have the same involvement of your immune system. A food intolerance is a digestive issue, and the symptoms remain in the digestive tract. Symptoms include bloating, gas, diarrhea, nausea, and vomiting. You'll notice those symptoms are also in the list of allergy symptoms, but it's the cause that's different. The cause of food intolerance is the inability to properly digest a food or a food component. Another difference between an allergy and an intolerance is the length of time it takes for symptoms to manifest. Symptoms may appear in the first 30 minutes of a meal, or it might take as long as 48 hours before there are any symptoms. That's what makes it so difficult to diagnose an intolerance. Your symptoms may be due to something you ate 2 days ago. As if all of this information isn't confusing enough, there is a phenomenon known as cross-reactivity. Proteins in certain foods are similar to the proteins found in certain pollens. This means if you are allergic to certain pollens, you may also have a reaction to certain foods. On the Mayo Clinic's website, you'll find a page entitled Food Allergy. On that page is a table of pollen food allergy combinations worth looking at. If you are allergic to birch pollen, you may not be able to have apricots, carrots, celery, hazelnuts, and peanuts. If you're allergic to ragweed, you may not be able to have bananas and cucumbers and zucchini. If you're allergic to grasses, you may not be able to eat oranges and tomatoes and white potatoes. If you're allergic to mugwort, you may not be able to have bell pepper, cauliflower, garlic, onion, and peaches. On that same website is a list of suggestions for people who have food allergies. And I would think if you have food intolerances, some of these suggestions work well for you too. Know what you're eating and drinking. Be sure you read the labels carefully. If you've already had a severe reaction, wear your medical alert bracelet or necklace to let others know you have an allergy in case you have a reaction and you're unable to communicate. Talk with your doctor about prescribing emergency epinephrine. You may need to carry an epinephrine autoinjector, especially if you're at risk of severe allergic reaction. Be careful at restaurants and be certain your server or chef is aware that you absolutely cannot eat any food you're allergic to. And be completely certain that your meal does not contain it. Make sure that food is not prepared on surfaces or in any pans that have previously contained the food you're allergic to. Plan your meals and snacks before leaving home. If necessary, take a cooler packed with foods you can eat. If you or your child can't have the cake or dessert at a party, Bring your own treat. If your child has a food allergy, take these precautions to ensure his or her safety. First, notify the key people in the child's life that your child has a food allergy. Talk with child care providers. Talk with school personnel. Speak with the parents of your children's friends and any other adults who regularly interact with your child. Emphasize to them that an allergic reaction can be life-threatening and requires immediate action. Make sure that your child is not afraid to ask for help. Explain food allergy symptoms to adults. Teach the adults who spend time with your child how to recognize signs and symptoms of an allergic reaction. Write out an action plan. That plan needs to describe how to care for your child when he or she has an allergic reaction. Provide a copy of the plan to your child's school nurse and any others who care for or supervise your child. Have your child wear a medical alert bracelet or necklace. This alert will list the allergy symptoms and explains how to provide first aid in an emergency. Lastly, arm yourself with the proper knowledge so that we can all eat happily ever after.